Okay guys, we are talking leather cleaning, and that applies to anything leather, jackets, boots, purses, right? So I grabbed a few things that do need some cleaning. And when you look at something that needs to be cleaned, you sort of need to look at it holistically and review the entire purse. Now this one is mostly just dirty, except there is a little crack here. So I've gathered all of my tools that I need to repair this. Most of it involves cleaning, and it's easy, but then I did bring my glue and a little bit of white to repair that one little crack. Okay, so I have a bucket here from when we were doing some tie-dye. I keep it here because I'm going to use my leather suede cleaner, and I want to just grab my brush and pour it onto the bristles so that it's nice and wet. And then you can keep the purse right over your bucket so you don't get it on anything. And you just start scrubbing. There's little brown stains all over this. You can see all the dirt coming off onto it. And then leather can go in the water, so we're just gonna dip it and see that'll come off. So I'm gonna use a brush. Some of that is just from the brush. I'm gonna use a rag to clean that off. And now you can kind of see that it's cleaner, but now you can see some of the scrapes and marks on it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same sort of brush cleaning on the back and the bottom. Make sure you get in the edges. You never know where the dirt's gonna be hiding. A lot of times it's in the pockets and stuff. So you also need to check inside and clean the inside of a purse. Don't forget to check the straps, although this one looks absolutely perfect and fine. There's no issues. There's one little scratch on it. All right, so I'm gonna dip it again in the water. Get that nice and clean. And then again, dry it off. So that now all we have on here is any marks or issues, no dirt. You never want to put dye or try to repair a simple stain. You want to make sure that you clean off any stains that you may have. It's always the easiest option is to clean something versus dyeing or repairing something. Okay, so now we're seeing some black marks on here. They're light, but they do mar the look of this, and it is an expensive purse. It's Paloma Picasso, so you do want to repair it as best you can. All right, there we go. And now just to make double sure that those black marks are really scratches, I'm gonna just double check it with my Mr. Clean Sponge, and yeah, they are all scratches. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're gonna do two things. First, we're gonna take our little glue that I mentioned at the beginning of our DIY course. It's Gorilla Glue with a brush. You can use super glue with a brush, any kind of super strong hold glue, as long as it has a brush with it. So now we're just going to lightly touch the insides of both pieces of the piping that has pulled apart there. There's a metal piece in there to keep the piping together. Now we're just going to hold it together like that. And we're gonna probably sit here for a minute. So, okay, so the glue has adhesed, and I held it together for just about a minute, and Gorilla Glue or super glue or anything like that should adhere quickly. So we have it closed together. You can still see the line though. So we're gonna do two things quickly. One is we're gonna take some furniture, white furniture wax. It's just a crayon, and we're gonna color over the line. And what you're really doing is filling it in, just like you would a scratch on a piece of furniture. Okay, and just kind of color it in. You still might see it a little bit, but you're filling it in, okay? And then get rid of all the wax around it. There's another little scratch there, so I'm gonna color that as well. All right, and then what we're gonna take is our white paint. So your white paint, you don't need very much of this. And remember, this is leather paint. It's not just any old white paint. Must be leather stain. Get it on your little sponge, and then you're just gonna tap it on there. You end up using my finger. Get rid of any signs that those marks were there. Right at the edge here where it's cracking along the hem of the purse. Don't be afraid to pile it on because you can always pull it off. Sometimes with a purse, you've got cracks and crevices, so you kind of need to fill it in with either that wax crayon I was showing you or the actual paint. Okay, and then you're just gonna go around and do the same thing to any scratches you see. Just dab it. Make sure you wipe around it so that it doesn't make an obvious little circle around the spot that you fixed. Piping's super easy because you're basically just recovering the whole piping around the bottom here. It's such a nice feeling to always find yourself repairing something that, you know, someone decided this is absolutely done. There's nothing left I can do besides take this to Goodwill. I can't fix it. I don't even want to try. And you realize that it really only takes a few minutes, and this is a beautiful purse worth a lot of money that someone will love for many more years to come. Okay guys, the paint is dry. It was mostly the piping. I've repaired the spot that was cracked and ripped, and that looks beautiful. And now I am just adding a quick layer of a little bit of oil to make this look perfect. But it's really beautiful. I think I paid $3.95 for this at Goodwill, just a regular Goodwill purchase, but it was all marked up, so that's what they charged me for it. And I'm gonna list this for $80. So that is a few minutes work for a lot of profit.